And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Sag. Welcome to Coin Place Tarot. My name is Coin. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at in this round of readings is going to be your one-to-one read for the month of December. One-to-one is the style of reading I do where it examines the direct relational dynamic between person A and person B. Point A, point B, 1, 2, 1, both looking at each other. What's going on there? Two major caveats I like to give with this style of reading. The first is oftentimes given the name love readings. I hesitate to call them that because they're not always lovely, right? We don't just talk about the happy parts. We talk about rain and sunshine. Everything that's on the table will be laid out on the table for us to converse about, right? So that's first. Second, it ain't always gotta be about love, right? It could be about a family member, friend, coworker, etc., a person you just met. This is what's going on between you and this party that's coming up here. So as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even when it gets difficult, understand I, as your tarot card reader, am not here to purposely misguide you. That's not what I do. That's not why I made this channel. I just want us to use the cards to have a conversation. Yeah? So follow along with me in your read today, one-to-one for the month of December, Sagittarius. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. You're going to be on this side, over here, and they're going to be on this side, over there. Let's begin. So let's cards that we need to see, please, for Sag in this read. What are the cards we need to see, please, for the Sagittarius collective in this read today? Ooh, nice. Okay. So on your side, Six of Wands, a moment of victory, recognition to be had. On their side, Knight of Wands, freedom of choice, but also find a way to have the heart fulfilled. Yeah, to believe in each other and each other's emotions. They see you, whatever effort you've been putting in. Yeah, there's admiration here. That's what I'm trying to say, Sag. On your end, you finally feel like things are coming together, things are worth it. On their end, well, wow, well, don't show me up, right? There's this notion of not only admiration, but I want to be better for this. What does that look like? So whatever dynamic you and this person that's coming up, kudos to you, whatever you recently accomplished, and they're trying to be supportive, and also look at, evolution of the self as well. Now that we have two separate parties on the board, person A and person B, let's look at the fronts and backs. Fronts being what's being held between these two parties directly, what is being communicated, what's being said. The backs are the behinds, what's not being directly communicated, what's left in the unsaid. Easiest way I can put it. So let's cards we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in this read. What do we need to see, please, for Sag in this read today? Ooh, so crisp. Okay, yeah, the long-term investment, Nine of Pentacles. You have been working your butt off. Got it. Sometimes a win's a win. Queen of Cups. How much you have wanted, how much you love this. Okay, and I don't think this is necessarily towards that person. I'm not getting, necessarily lovers vibes as of yet, Sag. What I am saying is the passion that I have, the work that I put in, I'm glad that it all worked out in the end. Right? You're in a state of elation about whatever. I'm still seeing this as more of a project than a person. I'm glad that this all worked out on their end. That is not what I expected at all. Three of Swords. Heartbreak and sharp pain. In what way? Eight of Pentacles, the notion of mastery. Okay. I don't want to say that's necessarily jealousy or animosity, but because again, it started off with great feelings of admiration, but there is this notion here, Sag, between you and them, whoever you're identifying in this read, is not coming from a space of hatred. They're not trying to hate on you. I want to say that first and foremost because it is not being effectively communicated. The heartbreak or the disappointment that's being had around this entire scenario between you and them, and I see this as both a friend and competitor of yours, let's just be totally honest, with that Eight of Pentacles coming out, is that either they're asking, why didn't my work get recognized as well? Either A, or B, part of them seeing your success, and again, this unintentional animosity, I don't necessarily see this as, purposeful, malicious intent, but part of them is feeling like they're inadequate and not good enough for their field anymore. Like there was a sharp turn in a different direction that I didn't even expect. Whereas you finally feel like you've won something, you've gotten the recognition for all the hard work that you've done. They too feel like, well, I mean, dang, is my best even good enough right now? Right? They still appreciate the work that you've done, but there's a lot of questions and internal things that they're battling with and they're trying to grapple with. And whatever's being communicated, they're giving it the best that they have. I don't know if it's being effectively told to you in the way of admiration, not necessarily malice or jealousy. And that's the part that's not adding up for me right now. So we'll just dive into it further as we get along in the read. The real positionalities. Show the cards we need to see, please, for each party's position in this read. Show us the cards we need to see, please, for Sag in this read, in this one-to-one. That's a break. Normally this deck never breaks, so I mean, it could be bad shuffling, but there's a lot of mixed emotions going on here. So let's cards we need to see, please. Okay, on your end, Four of Cups. A developing sense of apathy and disappointment on their end. Page of Swords. Still being stuck watching. Right. Yeah, whatever recent success you've had, Sagittarius, it has formed this unintentional rift between you and, I'll say, a respected competitor of yours, someone that you hold a high talent and high regard. And it's kind of like what's that song from Funny Girl? Don't Rain on My Parade, right? That's how it's making you feel, being like, why can't you just be happy for me? And on their end, they're not trying to hate on you. They're just having a lot of insecurities right now of, well, what do I do from here? I recognize your genius over here. And it's not that I'm saying I'm a slouch in any regards, but I just don't feel like something's right for me anymore. I've worked my butt off. I've done all these things, and yet I still feel like I'm lagging so far behind. That Page of Swords, still watching, still observing, still trying to learn, still unable to wrap their heads around the notion. And that's probably where the Knight of Wands is coming from. They respect you, and also they're kind of setting themselves free. I don't know what happened between you and this person, Sag, because again, it could have been interpreted as animosity, which it was not in the slightest. But there's just this level of overwhelming doubt and dread that this person is going through right now. Underneath it all, Five of Cups, pain, sorrow, and remorse. Whatever this was, it was a great victory on your end. And, when the high wears off, also try to take their perspective of, well, why would they feel like this in the first place? Right? I'm not saying anybody had any malicious intent. I don't see that on either side. What I do see, however, is somebody who's just so used to getting passed over that when they finally feel like they did something right, your win was almost like a nail in the coffin for whatever their dreams was. That's just where it's at right now between you and them. It's painful acceptance, but envy doesn't always have to be malicious. It just has to be there. Now that we have two separate parties on the board, 1-1, one looking at the other, and vice versa, show us now 1-1 what is shared in between. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, in the space that occupies between the bridging gap held between Sagittarius and their person within this read. Page of Swords, observance. What is the next move? What is the next action? What shall be done? Okay, next. Show us the cards we need to see, please, between Sag and their person within this read. That one kind of just flew out, so let's see what is held up next. Down the middle. Empress. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about. Ultimately, I think both of you know this. Let this be more of a competitive notion rather than one of animosity. The Empress represents, it's one of the most productive cards in the deck. That girl, she works hard for the money, right? The Empress being the best of me, let it show through, right? Is it being necessarily interpreted in that way? Not necessarily, but again, I don't think we necessarily have seen each other's holistic perspectives yet. You're finally glad that something worked out. And therefore, that's probably why you're having such, defensive and guarded posturing towards this person, because it's like everybody else is happy for me. Why can't you be happy for me? Whereas if we heard them out on their side, still observing, still wanting, still waiting for their shot, and again, feeling like their best friend, their colleague, or whatever type of relationship you have with them, Sagittarius, they still feel like they're not good enough. Am I even meant to be here and do this anymore? Right? Between each other, it should be healthy competition, but it's not being interpreted as that way on both sides. Four of Pentacles, still holding on, still understanding that this is a good investment to keep each other in each other's lives, to not just throw out everything. Magician, the power of manifestation. And both of you wanted, whatever prize was had that you won in some way, shape, or form, Sag. Both people were aiming for it. Ace of Swords, and so the truth is laid out on the table. Yeah, both of you were competing for something, and you won, and it just drew such intense, immediate pain right through the heart for them that they're just saying, F it, I can't do this anymore. Like, they're just in a state of total retreat, not because they don't want the best for you. Trust me, they do. Trust very much and well that they do. It's just that, why not me for once? Underneath it all, King of Swords. What is the right and proper thing to do here? How do we swing for victory? Again, it isn't meant to be anything of a malicious intent. I do not see that, Sagittarius. But what I do see is just a person who has worked hard, if not equally as hard as you have. Let's call a spade. And now they're just feeling the pain and shunting of rejection and overall not good about themselves, because they feel yet again as if it was inevitable proof that, hey, maybe we need to hang it up. That's just where it is right now. Yeah. Go deeper, define the major arcana stream across the table in Sagittarius' read between them and their person. We're looking in the shared space, more importantly at the Empress. What about the best of ourselves being brought out? Show us the cards that we need to see, please. Define that Empress in the read. Define the Empress for Sagittarius in this read today, please. To the Empress, Seven of Pentacles, accept the process as it is. And again, we're trying to be good sports about it, because I don't necessarily see hatred towards you. It's just frustration about the entire dynamic itself. That's what's going on here. And next to the Magician, Five of Pentacles, because one of us had to win, which means the other had to lose. There's no other way I can put it. Five of Pentacles represents a notion of poverty, despair, but even more so the idea of being left behind. If both of you, if this is in your shared space, this is why I'm having this conclusion, Sag. If this is in your shared space, this is what we're aiming for. This is our truth. Both of us have been holding on to it, waiting for this moment, trying to have the best. We've been waiting, watching, observing, almost with the eagle's eyes, sense of intensity of a vision. And now that we said, okay, let the judges rule, Five of Pentacles, one of us has to win and one of us has to lose. You were in a healthy competition with this person and you won, and they feel like maybe I need to hang it up completely. This is where it's at between you and them. Resolution. Reveal cards resolution within this reading. Show us what is held in a space of resolution for Sagittarius in this reading today. Resolution, we hold the Fool, the power of new beginnings, to believe that the entire world is now made possible. The High Priestess, to trust that whatever is right will go right. Underneath it all, Strength, card of Leo. I don't know if you're dealing with Leo, but that's not the point here. How do we hold space for each other when the inevitable conclusion was that either I or you had to win? And being that it went in my corner, at least from what I'm seeing in your read today, Sag, this is the recap. Being that it went my way, in my direction, the favor, the deal, the partnership, the whatever, how do we hold mutual space, both as healthy competitors that don't lash out at each other, but also good friends that respect each other's game? How do we do that? Because this person is in a state of dismay, and it's not about you. It's more about the idea that they have yet been passed over again for something that they worked so hard for. I don't even want to call that envy at this point, because envy implies a target. The target is not you. The target is this space even right for me anymore? I have done so many things to make this right, and yet here we are yet again. And now, and they definitely feel bad about it too, which is why the heartbreak is coming out, that Three of Swords, towards you, Sag. They don't want you to take it as, I hate you because you are successful. They're just asking, why can't it be me for once? So here's what you got in your read. We're having whoever is the other party on that end, Sagittarius, struggle with a sudden and deep, sharp pain of inadequacy for something that they have worked equally in your field at. But inevitably, when it came to whatever the situation was, one person had to win, one person had to lose, and you just so happen to be the winner in this scenario. Now, while we may be disappointed in their behavior, the way we took it was, wow, that is such a loser kind of behavior. Why can't you just be happy for me? That's not the intent here. The reality is, they're trying to struggle keeping a smiley face for you because they do respect you, and they think that honestly, you did really well for whatever you were, competing with them with. But they have to deal with the raw reality and grip with the fact that once again, they're not the one who won or was chosen or was favored. They have to deal yet again that they lost for something they felt they worked so hard at. And that is a tough pill to swallow for anybody who's really wanted anything. Because again, this was a situation, one person had to win, the other person had to lose. And the person who just so happened to win was you. And here we are in the aftermath, still trying to believe that everything was right and that new beginnings are possible. But we gotta sit with the messiness of the here and now and say, yeah, I'm not okay with this. And I don't hate you, but it's taking a lot to love me right now. That's how I see in your read today, Sag. Hope this conversation helps. And yeah, in what capacity you can give, because I get the sense that you are peeved right now, try to be more open-minded towards their perspective on just the level of doubt than, just the reframing and trying to be there for them if they are a colleague or competitor or a friend you want in your life, right? Really try to take your perspective on everything that's going on. Because again, I don't sense animosity, I just sense some pain. And that's just where it's at. That's what I see in your read today. I hope this conversation helps Sagittarius. And yeah, take that conversation bit by bit. It gets better. I'll see you around.